Testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. It is Monday, March the 4th, 2024. I am Mike, and today we're going to spend about 45 minutes to an hour going through a fully packed show. We're going to look at the charts. I know most of you are excited. Most of you, it feels like Christmas Day morning, but let me tell you, this is just the beginning of the bull run. If you think this is good, wait until the end of the year. Wait until the end of next year. That's when you're going to see real gains. So what we're going to go through today is we're going to go through Bitcoin. We're going to go through over-the-counter trading and how that is going. We're going to look at a price target of $900,000 Bitcoin. Again, some of these price targets we cover on here are not necessarily price targets that I agree with, but it's always good to look at them. We're going to look at the ETF for Ethereum. Is that going to happen? Who knows? We're then going to look at, it's not parabolic, it's paidabolic. ADA going parabolic in the next few weeks and few months. Why that is going to happen. And then we have a quiz. But before that, we're going to have a very quick look at Star Atlas. And the reason we're going to look at Star Atlas is very simple. There's potentially the largest ever sale of a gaming asset in the history of mankind. So we're going to go through that. Good morning to Web3. Good morning to Mags. Good morning to Hidden Agenda. Everybody else that's watching out there. Remember, this is a live stream. So in the chat, say hello. Say where you're from. Turbo, good morning. Ali, good morning. I believe that we have the one and only Tariq is with us this morning. Good morning, Tariq. And anybody else that's out there, say hello from where you are. I do try and keep on top of the spammers and the scammers, but it is difficult because they do wait for me to start typing before pasting their horrible, nasty links. Tariq is here. Good morning, Tariq. So let's have a quick look at the charts. This target I've set at the very bottom of the page, $74,000. I am going to justify that when we get onto the Bitcoin news. But the bottom right-hand corner, where I said 63,000 soon, that was the target last Friday. Now, of course, we are nowhere near that today because we have rocketed up to $65,235, a $1.28 trillion market cap. Ethereum is at $3,500. Remember, I am still going to eat my hat live on stream at some point in the future because I said that Ethereum has to take $3,000 and hold it. Well, there we are, $3,500. It's gone another $500 over the target just to make sure that I do eat the hat. So market cap, 2.44 trillion. My prediction of 8 to 10 trillion is probably going to be blown out of the water, but 8 to 10 trillion is my target. So that is potentially a 4x from here, potentially 4 times higher for the market cap from where we are to hit my target. Not necessarily where we are going to go, but where I think we're going to go. Volume. Now, this is incredible. For a Monday morning, we normally see volume of 30, 40, 50 billion. 115 billion for volume on a Monday morning is quite incredible. Bitcoin dominance, 52.6%, ticking up. Ethereum still holding on to its coattails, 17.4%. Just remember that combined, they make up 70% of the crypto market. 70% of everything in crypto is made up from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything else that you're seeing that's pumping out of its shoes, they are all micro caps compared to those two assets. Now, I don't want to go to the 24-hour without premising this with the fact that meme coins have been ripping all weekend. Please do not get caught up in the meme mania. They are ripping, but where is the money going to flow? When these memes get sold off, it's going to come straight back into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Pepe is up 54%. In the last 24 hours. It has a $3 billion market cap. Bonk, $2.2 billion market cap. SHIB, $15.6 billion market cap. Doge, $23.4 billion market cap. Floki, They are all meme coins. They are all ripping. It's not healthy and it's not sustainable. I know you're all excited. I know everybody holds bonk. I know everybody has SHIB. We give SHIB away on the channel. But temper your enthusiasm. Look at how high they've ripped. How much further is SHIB going to go? How much further is Dogecoin going to go? Doge is already 9th. SHIB is 11th. Just expect a pullback. I'm only warning you now because a lot of people will start buying Pepe and Bonk. And yes, they could go another 2x from here. Yes, they could go to 5 or 6 billion. I get that. Good morning to Hassano. The market is high and the gifts are weak. The gifts are weak because I am poor. I am poor because nobody tips. That's the problem. So, the memes are just running away with it. There's no point in going any further down because everything is just pumping out of its skin today. Losers. Say is down a touch. Arweave, Singularity, Render, Celestia. Really not a lot of action at the other end of the table. So what we'll do is we'll move on very quickly and have a look at some X-Files. Short snippets just to give you a little bit of humour to start your day. Let's wait for these to load up. As Whaleful Fud Capital points out, the world right now is on fire, but guess what? Crypto guys, we're so back. We are so back. We have been looking at Bitcoin from $20,000, $22,000, even $15,000. At the beginning of this channel, Bitcoin was in the pits of the bear market. We were at $18,000, $17,000, $16,000, and we were telling people back then, just hold the line. Don't give in. Don't fold your hand. Hold. If you'd have held from when we started streaming, you'd be 4x up just on Bitcoin alone. And we are back, but it hasn't finished. We must be excited, but we must also temper that excitement with caution. I keep saying we are slightly ahead of where we need to be. And there are reasons for that. And there are reasons to say we are where we are. So have you tried sending an ETH transaction in the past few days? After paying all these gas fees, Ethereum logo now makes sense. I've seen this one before. Of course, the Ethereum logo is an empty wallet. And if you were a big fan of Solana, you would know that Solana is the place to carry out your transactions. Matic is the place to carry out transactions. Arbitrum, the layer 2s on Ethereum and Solana, that is where you want to be carrying out your DeFi or your transactions. You certainly don't want to go and do it on the Ethereum blockchain because you will end up like this man on the left with an empty wallet. And remember, the more popular Ethereum gets, the more usage it gets, the higher those gas fees will go. Now, I said at the beginning, a word of warning, and that is, don't FOMO into meme coins. These tweets that go out are very dangerous. Buy and hodl, Doge, Floki, Pepe, Bonk, and SHIB. Don't YOLO in with your portfolio into meme coins. Please carry out risk management. If you have a $10,000 portfolio, your meme coins should only be a $100 allocation of that portfolio. You should be holding, not financial advice, you shouldn't be holding should be holding Bitcoin. You should be holding Ethereum, maybe Cardano, XRP, Solana, Chainlink, AVAX, Say, Sui, those coins, yes. Do not put more than 5% of your net worth into meme coins because they will wreck you. They will give you 500% gains in 2 weeks and they will take 99% or 75% or 60% of that investment and send it through the floor. So when you buy these meme coins, great. Everybody should go and buy meme coins. They're a bit of fun. It's great to watch the prices absolutely rock up. GMSAR, thank you for your ID. Remember, drop your ID into chat and I will enter you into a draw at the end of this week. Good morning, Kishan, top 10 coins hold. I agree. If you are new to crypto and you don't know what to do, go and have a look at the top 10 coins in crypto. And they are the coins that should make up at least 60-70% of your portfolio. Yes, you can go and buy speculation. Yes, you can go and buy AI coins. Yes, you can go and buy DeFi coins. But please don't just go and buy meme coins because Doge is up 25% or Bonk is up 200%. It's not going to end well, and it never has done. So just carry out some risk management. That's all we ask of you on the channel. Now, let's move on very quickly. Like I said, I am trying to stop the spam in chat. It's difficult to do the stream, and it's difficult to do the stream and keep on top of the chat. So I cannot possibly kick all of these spammers out of chat, but I will try and get some of them as I catch them. There we go. Okay, so Morgan Stanley seeks indirect exposure to Bitcoin. This was going to happen. This was always going to happen. Let me make this a bit bigger so you can actually see it. So Morgan Stanley, a prominent Wall Street institution, has filed for Bitcoin ETF exposure in multiple institutionally focused funds. This move signals a significant step towards mainstream acceptance of crypto investments within traditional financial institutions. Experts warn of a potential price correction as tech indicators suggest Bitcoin may be approaching a cycle top. So Morgan Stanley has filed to add Bitcoin to its own ETFs and funds. Fine. Happy days. This is just the start. We have layers of ETF penetration. We have stage one, which was January, which was kind of retail-y 401k type pension funds. Layer two was existing ETF, the big nine holders, adding the Bitcoin ETF to their existing ETFs as well and their existing funds. That was penetration number two. Penetration number three are these ETFs going out and selling these ETFs to the blue chip companies, Apple, Google, Amazon, whoever. Stage four is where other fund managers ask for permission to add the Bitcoin ETF to their existing funds. So you might think of holding a Bitcoin ETF, but what you don't realize is that all of these different fund managers will add Bitcoin passively to all of their funds. So you can have $10,000 in the Morgan Stanley Tech Fund, and over the next couple of months, 1, 2, or 3% of that fund will be held in Bitcoin. So it doesn't have to be a direct purchase of that ETF. It can come via additional funds. And that's where we will have kind of full financial adoption when we're in every fund, when we're in every bank, when we're in all the pensions, when we're in all the blue chip company treasuries. Then you're going to have the direct purchases made by the billionaires and the millionaires. So we're nearly there. We're nearly there in terms of exposure. We're not nearly there in terms of money coming in. So just bear in mind that over the next few months, you're going to see more articles like this. And this, of course, fuels the fire of Bitcoin purchases. And what does all of this do to Bitcoin? It crushes the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. Now, before we get onto the Bitcoin chart, we're going to go through this. Now, I did try and bring you up a chart to show you the Bitcoin on exchanges. I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to tell you. Over the last 1 month, there are 80,000 less Bitcoin on exchanges than there were in January. So between January and February, there's 80,000 less Bitcoin. That's in 1 month. Now, there's going to be a trade-off between the price of Bitcoin and the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. The higher the price, potentially we're going to see people moving Bitcoin into exchanges to sell. But if we don't see that, we're going to see the number of Bitcoin on exchanges falling. And why would you sell Bitcoin at $64,000? Why would you sell it at $60,000? Why would you sell it at $50,000 when the price is appreciating at the rate it's going? Yes, we're going to have corrections. but I don't think the corrections are going to bring the price down to where people think. And that's the problem. As I said a few days ago, there are people with buy orders at $10, $15, $20, and $25,000 for Bitcoin that are still there, that are never going to be filled. Even in the next bear market, they're not going to be filled. Potentially the bottom of the next bear market could be $70,000. If we run up to $200,000, $250,000 and we have a 60% correction, that's going to bring us down to the previous all-time high, $70,000. So why are these people telling you we're going to go to $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 Bitcoin? We're nowhere near hitting those targets. There's too much money flooding in. The argument in September was, where is the money going to come from to pump Bitcoin to $100,000? That was the argument in September. We're now in March, 6 months later, and we have $500 million a day coming into Bitcoin from ETFs. So now we know where the money is coming from. And what happens when you have an absolutely finite asset like Bitcoin being bought at 10,000 Bitcoin a day? What happens is you run out of Bitcoin, or the price appreciates to such a value that people will sell. But what price are you going to sell your Bitcoin at? Are you going to sell your Bitcoin at $100,000? Are you going to sell your Bitcoin at $500,000? Are you going to sell your Bitcoin at $1 million? Everybody has a price they will sell their Bitcoin for, including me, because it's life-changing money, and you would be mad to hold it for the rest of your life and never benefit from that appreciation in value. But there is a price for everybody, and what the institutions and the whales and everybody else has to accept is some people's target price for Bitcoin is $1 million, and they won't sell until it hits $1 million. And we're only at $64,000, $65,000 right now. So you're going to have potentially 2 or 3 million Bitcoin that aren't going to be sold for a very long time. We've only got 19 million, of which probably 2 million are lost. Satoshi's lost 1 million. We've already got 1 million locked up in all the different financial institutions. There isn't enough Bitcoin to go around, so the price has to go up. Now, again, we're not going to go through this article in too much depth because we will run out of time. So Bitcoin's exchange reserve dropped progressively during February. The number of whale entities increased by nearly 4% over the past month. Nearly 50,000 were withdrawn through February. That's wrong. It was 80,000. I checked the figures myself last night. There's 80,000 less than there was in January. An analyst using Crypto Quant's data, Bitcoin's exchange reserve dropped progressively during the month, even as its market price spiked by 44%. Why is it a bullish signal? We know why it's a bullish signal. We know why the whales are rising in numbers. Mr. 100, by the way, who I've mentioned on here before, he's had a few off days where he hasn't been buying Bitcoin. And most recently, I think on Saturday and Sunday, he went back to buying Bitcoin again. Master Guru, thank you. Thank you for dropping your ID as well. I am taking screenshots of everybody. What do I think about ETFs? Well, we're going through them now. I think the issue with ETFs is there comes a point where the price has got to get to where Bitcoin can stop being drained at the rate it's being drained. Remember, April the 20th, 450 Bitcoin a day are being produced. Today, it's 900. If we see the ETFs buying power staying above 1,000 Bitcoin a day, that is 5,000 a week, because they only trade Monday to Friday. So 5,000 Bitcoin a week coming off exchanges. Then you have 450 a day being made. Let's call that 3,000. So 5,000 a week being taken off, 3,000 a day being made. What do? What happens? At some point, we run out of Bitcoin, or the price appreciates to a value where there is sell pressure coming in from the ETFs. But until we reach that point, we're going to keep going up. And there is, at some point in the near future, going to be a price where these ETFs do start selling. Good morning to Emmy. Good morning to Solo Sky. Web3, good morning to all of you. Good morning, Hikran. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you are all here today. So where is Bitcoin headed? Bitcoin has rallied to 64,000 at the price. We are at 83 on the Fear and Greed Index, and I think it's going to be a lot higher today. So let me cut to the chase. I said $74,000 at the bottom of the screen. And many of you are probably going to think I am mad. But we did predict the previous price pump. So, what are we on the daily? Okay. So, previously, we predicted this leg up here. And guess what? We are currently in the same bull pennant that we have covered before. And that is giving us a price target of $74,500. We have a lot of resistance between there and now. If you look, we had two previous tops. We had a double top in the last bull run. One of them is 65.5. So that's the first one we need to break, 65.5. The second line we need to break is the all-time high at 69,000. Yesterday, there was only 150 Bitcoin in the sell wall at a price higher than where we are. So the price, we're running out of Bitcoin to hold the price down, and that's where we can go parabolic. Now, do I think we're going to hit 74,000? No, but I didn't think we were going to do what we did here and pump up to this level. I didn't think this move was going to happen so quickly, and it did. So if we copy this move over here, 74,000. What happens today is the ETFs start buying again. So we've pumped over a weekend without ETFs, and now we're heading into 5 days of ETF purchases. Are we going to see this rip up to $74,000 today? Are we going to see it by the end of the week? According to my chart, we are going to see this by Tuesday, by tomorrow. Crazy prediction. I fully understand that, but it was a crazy prediction down here when we said we were going to go from 52 to 63 or whatever it was, and we did. And again, if we go back here and have a look at the price action, the other thing I want to point out on the Bitcoin chart is this line here. The bull market support band is today coming in at $45,000, and this is going to start to rip up. So the bull market support band is where Bitcoin can find a level of support. I think, and I'm going to be wrong on this, but I think that point there was us touching the bull market support band, which is as close as we got. But I think the ETFs lifted us above that price. So I think we've touched the bull market support band very briefly. I think what we should have seen is we saw this, and what I think we should have seen was this. I think we are being inflated by the ETFs. And now that for me is a positive sign, because you don't want to go for months and months and months without touching the bull market support band, because at some point we are going to come down and touch it. It doesn't matter what anybody says. But the issue I have with people telling you that we're going to 35,000 is, at which point do we go to 35,000? Do we go to 35,000 from here or here? Do we go to 35,000 from here or from here? Because 35,000 from here is a 40% correction. And that would bring us down through all of these previous levels of support. How do we get to 35,000 from here with all the money coming in? It's not possible, in my opinion, at this moment in time to come to 35,000. I think we are going to keep wicking up. I think we're going to keep doing this. And then I think at some point we're going to have a correction. A healthy correction and a needed correction, because we're not going to go up in a straight line. I know I talk about this. For me, this is beautiful. This is how I want to see Bitcoin go up. because when we do come down, it steps on the way down, and that helps us because it provides previous price action. When you see coins, I'll use Doge as I'll use XRP as a perfect example. XRP was doing this. It won its court case and it did this, and then it had no support. So what did the price do? It came straight back to do this. And that's what we don't want to see for Bitcoin. We want to see these levels like this, where we can find support. And those levels can be all the way up, but we need that so it can provide a kind of provenance to where Bitcoin could come to in a correction. And if we do correct 20% from 74,000, it brings us down to 62,000, which is pretty much about here. That's what I would expect. So don't panic about people telling you that we're going to see a crushing blow to Bitcoin. Don't expect a crushing blow on Bitcoin in the next few days. Maybe there's going to be some news in the dim and distant future which will bring us down. But for me, it's not going to happen. Now, the last thing we're going to say about Bitcoin is, although I'm incredibly bullish on the price, because I'm seeing the amount of money coming in. And when money comes in at the rate it comes in, it's very difficult to predict a downturn in the price of anything. However, there comes a point where moon boy math comes into play and you have to temper your expectation. And this is what we were saying at the beginning about meme coins. Meme coins are great. You can do 500% in a week. You can do 500% in 2 days. But then they can also correct down 90%. And when you start to see these headlines, like a $900,000 Bitcoin, that is where you need to temper your expectations. Plan B is as close to Moon Boy math as possible, and he predicts 480,000 by next year. And his chart has pretty much been right for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and I'm not going to bet against Plan B. And that's the highest price I think we could get to. My personal opinion is, for giggles, Bitcoin is going to go to 420,000 because its previous all-time high was 69,000. So 420,000 is my absolute top. When you read headlines that say 900,000, however, you need to understand where this person is coming from. So macro investor and fund manager Dan Tapiero says he's analysing the historical accuracy of a predictive model suggesting Bitcoin will reach $900,000 this cycle. The CEO of 10T Holdings tells his 113,000 followers that Plan B's stock to flow, Plan B is the guy that I like, it seems to be a reliable price gauge for Bitcoin. Good, but it doesn't predict 900,000. The stock to flow aims to forecast the longer-term market cycles based on Bitcoin halvings when miners' rewards are cut in half. It seems impossible, but the vertical spikes up in the S2F model in 13, 16, 20 were all confirmed by price action within 1 year. The model suggests 900,000 within 12 to 18 months. Now, I'm not sure I see that. I think I see 480,000, and I've seen Plan B predict 480,000 in his workings. I'm not sure we're going to see 900,000. Bitcoin February's closing price brought Bitcoin back to the S2F model. Remember, one of the things to bear in mind about Plan B is he gets panned a lot. And the reason is, if you look at the colours of the lines, if you look where the green and blue colours are and the yellow to some extent, that's where the price of Bitcoin falls below the stock to flow model. And then the red to orange to yellow is where it goes above. So the grey line is an average price. The average price was supposed to be 55,000 in the previous cycle. And obviously we went above and then we came below. So it's an average price. So whereas we might hit 900,000, the average price is likely to be 480,000. And even then, I cannot see that this bull run. If you look at the previous cycles, we've smashed the stock to flow model, in the last cycle we touched it. So we could fall below it in the next cycle or touch it once maybe. But the second it turns from red to orange to yellow, and then it starts to fade down to green, that is the end of the bull cycle. Now, one thing this doesn't include is that we've had our first red dot on this stock to flow model. And as I said on Saturday with Brogan on the show, that means that accumulation is over and we are now into the bull market based on the stock to flow model. And as you can see, it going all the way back to 2012, it's been accurate. So this has got 12 years of provenance on it. And if you're going to believe anything you see out there, you believe Plan B stock to flow model, even what I say. So Lovebird, you need to put your ID into chat. If you don't put your ID into chat, I cannot add you. So I've got Hikran, Zaynep, I have Master Guru, I have people like that, but you need to drop your ID into chat or it won't drop. So he predicts 480,000 in this. There we go. The red dot is the start of the bull market. That's where we are now. We've had accumulation. We are now, according to Plan B, in the bull market. And that is it for the Bitcoin news, because there's a lot of Bitcoin news because it's dominating the news. And remember, I say this all the time, Sunday night preparing this show is always the hardest because there's nothing happening over the weekend. Except this weekend, of course, we've had our massive Bitcoin pump. So I don't know what else to say. Now, I've been saying this for a while. I don't think we're getting the Ethereum ETF in 2024. I think we're getting it next year. And there's lots of reasons why, which I've stated on here before. I'm not going to say why I think it is. We're just going to go through what Jake has got to say. So he's the Chief Legal Officer of VC Fund Variant, and he explains why it's unlikely to be approved this year. The watchdog received so many blowbacks from the Bitcoin spot ETF that it's probably not going to approve the Ethereum one. Now, why did it approve the Bitcoin one? Very simply, the court told them they had to. And I don't know if you remember me telling you at the time, but the deciding vote on the Bitcoin ETF being approved was Gary Gensler's. There was 2 Democrats that voted against, 2 Republicans that voted for, and Gary Gensler was the man who approved the Bitcoin ETF. So you are not going to hear many bad words on this channel anymore about Gary Gensler, because he's the guy that has made you all a lot richer than you were several months ago. Good morning, T-Seraph. Welcome to the stream. So why is it not going to be approved? The US SEC is unlikely to approve the ETF for Ethereum. I'm a lot less confident. The SEC gets a ton of blowback. Now animal spirits are in control of the market, and the Ethereum ETF would only add to that. So I don't think it's going to happen until March, April, May next year. And I'll tell you why. Gary Gensler is appointed by Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the president of America. He appoints the chair of the SEC. When Biden loses this next election, which he's going to do, whether he loses it himself or whether he's replaced and somebody else comes in, what's going to happen is that, let's say Trump wins. Trump, I think, will appoint Hester Peirce as the head of the SEC. She is called Mother Crypto or something like that. She is far more pro-crypto than Gary Gensler. She will approve the Ethereum ETF in April, May next year, maybe even March. Now, why is that a good thing? The all-time high is likely to be November of 2025. Why do we not need the Ethereum ETF now? Because we don't need it this second. We're already on fire. We are already on fire. We do not need any more petrol at this moment in time, or we're going to burn ourselves out. So the idea of an Ethereum ETF happening next February and March keeps the flames burning for a year, and then when we could possibly be getting to exhaustion in March next year, We then have the Ethereum ETF, which then pumps the entire market again. And that's the key. So I don't think we're going to get it this year. It is going to happen, but it is not going to happen today. Mags, on one of the platforms, there's a monthly VIP being given out. I can't say the name of the platform because we're on different platforms. I will tell you later on in another location. So I don't think we're going to get the ETF. This lawyer doesn't think we're going to get the ETF. I'm going to stick with my opinion that it's going to happen next year. And if it happens this year, great. But we have to be wary of the Ethereum price. And this is why I keep saying I'm going to eat my hat. And the reason is that this is not healthy. This is not healthy. Remember I was saying before about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing this, okay? So when Bitcoin falls, Bitcoin has steps to reach itself on. Where are the steps for Ethereum? Maybe this fib level here, okay? But I've put a line in here. I don't know why I've put this line in here, a 35,444. There's a line on here for a reason. I don't. Oh yeah, okay. That was to tie in with this. Okay, so Ethereum has shot up, absolutely shot up, and it's doing reasonably well against the Bitcoin Ethereum pair. Ethereum is doing quite well. But we need to be careful with Ethereum because I think this is 70% Ethereum hype, Ethereum ETF hype, and 30% bull run. Now, if that's the case, I think Ethereum should be back at 3,000, in my opinion. Good morning, Flip Those Cryptos. You are up early enough to catch the stream. I am glad. By the way, for any of you watching, Flip Those Cryptos is a very good channel to look up and watch. Unfortunately, because of where we're streaming, I can't say anything other than Flip Those Cryptos because I can't mention names of different places that you might be. But good channel to listen to. We had a good conversation the other day about Not Your Keys, Not Your Crypto that I listened to. It's good, it's informative. What I like about it, it's very relaxed. It's not stiff. I don't like watching stiff people too much. So I think we could see some retracement on Ethereum in the near future, especially if we don't get the approval. Now, the approval, I believe, should be in May, but I think there's an announcement in March. There's an announcement in March and an approval or a rejection in May, I think. So let's see. We could run up to 4,000. Remember, we're now at the point where we're looking at all-time highs. That's where we are. Now, all-time high is up here. Let's call it $5,000. For argument's sake, it's not, but let's call it $5,000. We're not that far away. And we do have another major obstacle up here at this fib level, which is $4,000. 4,100. But I would much prefer, and again, you don't always get, you never get what you want in crypto. You just have to have patience. What I think we could see is this or this. And of all the coins, Bitcoin is going to keep ripping because the money is coming in from ETFs. You've got to remember, I've said this before, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, XRP money is already in crypto. This ETF money is coming from outside crypto. So when Ethereum wants to have its day in the sun, it's only going to get a fraction of the gains from Bitcoin because that Bitcoin money is locked up in an ETF. We've already seen 150,000 Ethereum, 150,000 Bitcoin go to these ETFs. Just think about where we're going to go in the near future. Think about that. We have got to be careful that we don't buy Ethereum at the all-time high. I talk about chasing tornadoes all the time, They're great to look at from a distance, but you don't want to be going through one. And buying Ethereum is not on my 2024 March bingo card list because I don't trust this price. I think it's led by the ETF hype. And if it gets rejected, you're going to come down probably to the bull market support band, which could be $2,500. It might come down to here at $3,000. But I'm just worried. I'm not worried about Bitcoin. I'm not worried about a lot of other coins like Solana and XRP and Cardano. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the Ethereum. Ethereum, for me, is walking a tightrope. And if it's approved, and don't get me wrong, if it's approved, we are going to do this in a straight line to $5,000. Great. But I think there's a 70% chance we don't get approved. And that's why I wouldn't recommend buying a huge bag of Ethereum today. I would say, let me give you another premise to that. I would say, if you are building your portfolio for crypto for the bull run, and you are dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and Solana, keep doing it. Because if you buy today and the price does this, if you're dollar cost averaging in, then you are going to buy all of this. Okay? You're going to buy everything along there. It doesn't matter if you're going to dollar cost average in, right? That's the key. It's only if you decide you're going to put $10,000 into Ethereum and nothing else that there's a problem, because there could be a retracement and your $10,000 purchase in one go could be worth 30% less if it gets rejected. So dollar cost average in to every coin you like, irrespective of the price. If Bitcoin gets to $70,000 and you're still a Bitcoin maxi, keep buying. And then towards the end of the year, have a look at where the price is and decide where you think it's going to go from there. If we're at 100,000 by the end of the year, could we 3x the following year? Think about that. So that's what I would say to anybody looking at Ethereum. Tread with caution. Now, we are absolutely herring through the show and we've only got probably 15 minutes left. So what we're going to do, by the way, is the quiz is now going to fit the time at the end of the show rather than me allocating time specifically to the quiz, because the quiz is great, but getting through the news is more important. Now, this is to do with Cardano and a parabolic rally, or a padabolic rally. See, if you put ADA into parabolic, you get padabolic, and I think that's a great name. And I'm going to use that in my campaign for the rest of this year, that ADA is going to go padabolic. That's what I'm going to go with. Not going to say anything else about it. So, of course, most of the coins are going to go parabolic. Everything is going to go parabolic in the top 10 or 20. The further down you go, you might find coins that don't pump in the next bull run. That's fine. That's just part of life. But many people are calling for ADA to have a catch-up. And remember, ADA has done okay. It's doubled in price in the last year, but it's fallen behind where a lot of people expect ADA to be. Everybody expects ADA to be $1.50, $1.40. We're nowhere near there. The same, to be honest, with Matic. Matic was at 50-60 cents. It's now at $1.10, $1.15. It's had a good run. ADA hasn't really had that good run yet. But if you look at the charts from the last few days, it has had a good run. So ADA has had some gains, but it is falling behind in performance relative to Bitcoin and a few other coins. So this parabolic rally, which people are expecting, last time Bitcoin was at $60,000, ADA was at $130 to $198. We're at, what are we? Let me go and let me bring up the chart. I actually don't know. The prices are moving so quickly, I don't actually know where we're at with a lot of price. Are we at 70 cents? 75 cents? 77 cents. Crikey. So, let me zoom in a bit. Is this the... Okay, let's go to the daily. 1 second, let me get the chart up. There we go. Okay, so that's the chart that I drew a few days ago when we last spoke about it. So we're at 78 cents. So we are probably 50% behind where we were. We're at 77 cents and $1.98 to 130. Is that we're kind of halfway there. We haven't gone up, and we're going to go through the charts and the reason why. Now, we cannot compare anything to Ethereum in this bull run. In previous bull runs, fine. But Cardano isn't Ethereum. Cardano is built differently. It's all well and good looking at Ethereum's price action in 2021 or whatever it might be, but Ethereum was proof of work. It's now proof of stake. So you're comparing a proof of stake chain with a proof of work chain, number one. Number two, they're built differently. Number three, there was way more activity on Ethereum back then than there is today on Cardano. So I don't think it's a like-for-like comparison. I don't think it's fair to compare any of the top chains. I don't think Bitcoin and Solana, Cardano and XRP, they're all apples and pears. That's the problem with crypto. It's like, this is the next ETH killer. This is the next Solana killer. This is the next Cardano killer. No, it's not. It's not. They are not necessarily competitors for everything. And that's what, there was a very good argument made online about the layer 2s. Layer 2s are complementary to Ethereum, but they still compete with Ethereum for utility and usage, but they are complementary. One cannot really exist without the other. And Cardano doesn't have that issue at the minute, but Midnight is coming. And Midnight, I'm probably going to make a video about to explain it. There's going to be an airdrop of Midnight for Cardano holders. So I'll make a video about that at some point. But I don't think it's fair to compare ADA with Ethereum. However, ADA went on a price surge from 15 cents to $1.50, and we haven't seen that yet. We are above 70 cents. ADA has in fact broken out of the 70 cents price level since analysts posted this chart. Right, forget all that. Let's have a look at the chart. So, you know I like channels on this channel, if you pardon the pun. And let's go back a little bit. So, from October, like everybody else, we pumped based on the Ethereum, ETF hype. And we came from a very, very cheap area here down at 29, 30 cents, where I was telling people to buy Cardano, not financial advice. And we ran up to 67 cents. Then we retraced. We're in this downward channel for a while. And then, if you take it from the top, which is about there, we broke out. And we broke out at the beginning of February. And since then, we've done one of these nice moves. I've not seen it written anywhere. I'm sure there's an official name for it. But I'm going to call it cat on a hot tin roof. So this cat is stuck in a box and it can't get out. And what it does is it breaks out the top of the box and then it bounces off the channel and up. So cat on a hot tin roof. See? All fits perfectly. So we broke out of this channel and then we used the channel as support to push ourselves up. And we've seen this with Bitcoin. We've seen this with XRP. We've seen this with Ethereum. It comes out of the channel and then sits on top of the channel. So where are we going to go? Well, we've got a long way back in Ethereum, in Cardano, to find anywhere at this price, which can only mean we are at previous resistance, which would be right there at 79 cents. And look where we are now. We're at 78 cents. There's going to come a time on this channel, by the way, where we are doing chart and price analysis and we are at price discovery. And then everybody's going to know where the price is going to go to. And we're not going to know because the price is going to be up here. So if we break this level here, everybody really cares about is where we're going to go to. And my next target would be about $1.30. Why? Nothing to do with fib levels. Previous price action here. Previous price action here. And a little bit of it here. So $1.30 for me is the next target for Cardano if we keep this upward momentum. And there really isn't anything in the charts for this area in the middle. Maybe $1, we might find some resistance at $1, but for me, if we're going to keep this momentum up, and if Bitcoin keeps going for a few more weeks, if we do hit $74,000 for Bitcoin, like I've said on the show, then there's no reason whatsoever that Cardano will not get to $1.30. And that's a big move for Cardano. Remember, Cardano is like a stable coin. It doesn't move. I mean, it does this for like a year, and then it wakes up, and then it bounces off support and fires up again. So for me, Cardano, not financial advice, you should have a bag of it. That's all I'm going to say on it. Now, the last bit of news, and again, this is something I've not heard of. Right, all you need to do, Jadia, is put it into chat, and I will copy. When will 74 happen? Well, now, Master Guru, just bear in mind, I'm not a technical analyst. That's the first thing I want to point out to you. But I'm also going to show you where I'm going to bring up the Bitcoin chart first. Let me answer that question before we get to Star Atlas, because I know everybody's just watching to find out about Star Atlas. Nobody cares about Bitcoin. Nobody cares about the price of Bitcoin at all. But I'm going to show you what my chart says. So let's go to the daily. We've got a bull pennant, and the last time we had a bull pennant, it brought us up to where we said it was going to be brought up to. And everybody at the time said, nobody mentioned this, nobody said it was going to happen. If you go back to my video from a couple of Mondays ago, you'll see me draw it. I've even taken a screenshot of it and put it up on X to prove it. There is a bull pennant, which we drew on Saturday. And that bull pennant is showing that if we take this movement here, I just remembered, nobody can see my cursor. Right, so this movement here, if we take this movement here and we stick it there, we get to 74,000. That's a really bad drawing. You might as well just use the line. Here's one I prepared earlier. This line shows 74,500. Now, as I said, I am not a technical analyst. I know all about the RSI. The RSI is severely overbought, but I don't care about that at the minute. And you know why I don't care about it? Because for the next 5 days, we're going to see $2 to $2.5 to $3 billion come in from ETFs. Simple. So whatever is on the cards for where we could move, I have to temper that with the fact that Bitcoin is ignoring all of these lines. Everything that we think should happen is ignored by the ETFs because the demand is far exceeding supply. And in a bull run, all these hidden bearish divergences and bearish divergences, they all don't really play out because the price keeps going up. So I think we're going to get to a price on Bitcoin where the supply and demand meet of these new ETFs, and that's probably nowhere near where we are now. So irrespective of what I think is going to happen, which is we should have a cool off. So if you follow this down here and you follow this down here, we should potentially come back down here. But the ETFs are going to come in today and buy $500 million of Bitcoin. So what do you think that's going to do? It's going to rip us up to the upside again. So I'm not using absolute technical analysis, but I care, I have BTC. Everybody cares. Tariq, I will put you in the draw as well. So the key for me is don't sell your Bitcoin until the amount it is worth is going to change your life. That would be my final comment on it. You're going to get people saying, oh, you've paper-handed at $100,000. You've paper-handed at $200,000. If you're selling that Bitcoin and that Bitcoin pays off your mortgage and you are mortgage-free and you're 30 years of age without a mortgage, it doesn't matter what happens to Bitcoin or crypto after that. It's irrelevant. That is life-changing money. Paying off your mortgage is life-changing money. Paying for your kids' education, life-changing money. Doesn't matter what happens after that. It's irrelevant, in my opinion, okay? It will always go higher and it will always come down in price. It will always go through a cycle. Maybe the cycle will change in the future because it's got such a large market cap. Fine. Maybe it'll only move 10%, 15, 20% a year. Fine. But we're not there yet. We're a long way from being there. So even though I'm saying don't paper hand your Bitcoin, if you've got 10 Bitcoin and we go to $100,000 and $1 million will change your life, sell them. Sell 7 of them. Sell 8 of them. Don't listen to some guy on the internet telling you that you're wrong for selling your Bitcoin. But if you've got 0.1 or 0.1, sorry, 0.01, just hold it. It will appreciate in value. So, last thing I'm going to say is Star Atlas. And again, this is the last thing which I wasn't going to add to the show until I read the piece. And this is very quick. I know we've only got a few minutes left. This is very quick. Star Atlas, I've covered it a few times. We've done some specials. We've shown the game off. It's got a coin, which is Atlas. I'm not sure what exchange it's available on, but it's on most exchanges, I think. And it's not about shilling the token or shilling the project. It's just about the gamify element of this. They have a ship. I think it's called a Titan ship, which is a big thing. It's a huge thing. It's the entire width of that $5 million. They are about to sell a $5 million NFT. A $5 million NFT is about to be sold in this game. This game hasn't even launched. Now, I am very, very anti-NFTs. Very anti-advising people to buy NFTs because I think, on the whole, unless you're very good, you're going to lose your money. That's how I see things. You can buy Star Atlas now. The token is available, but I'm not. It's not a paid promotion. This is just something that I saw yesterday. I follow as many NFTs as possible. Please broadcast more often. On this channel that you're watching me on, I do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. So I do 3 times a week. However, what I would say about this is it's not so much the game. The game hasn't been launched yet, and in my opinion, it's a long way from being perfect. They are working on it. It's a huge undertaking, and I hope they get where they want to go. But when you see Helldivers 2 and the way that game is evolving, you would need Star Atlas to be somewhere in the same sphere as Helldivers 2 in terms of like interactivity and things like that. But anyway, beside the point, I am a fan of the game. But a $5 million sale of an NFT, that's the headline for me. Now, even if it's sold at a discount, even if it's sold for $3 million, it is such a statement sale. It is such a statement sale that is going to grab the headlines in traditional media, Forbes, New York Times, The Guardian, whatever mainstream media, CNN, they will cover this. A $5 million transaction. It's huge. And again, I wasn't going to cover it. I was just going to mention it in passing, but I've stuck it on the end because I think it's worth mentioning that these guys got stiffed by the FTX collapse. It went through the floor, and as far as I'm aware, there are going to be a handful of games that come out next year, Web3 blockchain games that are going to be worth playing, and Shrapnel, Earth from Under the Sun, and Star Atlas. Those are my 3 picks, and there'll probably be more that will come up over the next few months. But for me, what an incredible sale for anybody to sell a ship for $5 million. So that's all there is for the news. That's the news over. Now, we are at 11. Have we hit 12 o'clock? We're at 11 12:59, 12 o'clock. So we're at the end of the show. And what I will start to do is take questions. So if you have questions that you want to ask them in chat. We're going to run for another 5 or 6 minutes. Like I said, the quiz is now going to happen if we get to the end of the show and we have a lot of time left. But if we don't get, I'm going to drop a box 1 second. Here we are. Where are we? 1 second. Right, I'm just dropping a box and then I will be back. Right, so it's 12 o'clock now. I am going to probably close the stream in about 10 minutes. So you have 10 minutes to ask any questions that you want in chat, and they can come from anywhere. Where can we buy Star Atlas and hold it? As far as I'm aware, it's on most major exchanges. You can buy it on Jupiter as well. You can buy it on any Radium. You can buy it on the DEXs. You can buy it on the centralized exchanges. It has staking available, but it's not really anything I use. I don't use the staking, so that's not for me, really. Yes, you could. Yeah, also, yes, smash the like. That would be great help. Actually, just give me a second to see who is here. There we go. Let me bring that over. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the chats. Meme coins are killing it right now. Yeah, I did say that the issue with meme coins is that if you buy at the wrong stage of the cycle, you're going to lose 60% of your money. That's the issue with a meme coin. Other meme coins will run at a $50 million market cap for 6 months, and then over the course of 3 weeks go to a $600 million market cap. Bonk was a perfect example. Bonk went 11 months and did nothing, and then it shot up. Bonk was dead for 9 months, and then it just kept it. Basically, Bonk was airdropped to the Sega Solana mobile phone, and that kind of kicked off this airdrop culture, and Bonk went mental after that, and now it's at 2.2 billion. Dog with Hat, again, ripping. Pepe is ripping. Even Doge and even Shiba Inu are ripping. They're all ripping. If I do this, give me 1 second. I'm just going to show you the meme coin chart on CoinMarketCap. Give me 1 second. Every time I go to press it, it moves. Stay still. Right, 1 minute. Okay, so if I go to categories, 1 second, and go to memes, let me show you. So we've just seen that the entire market cap of crypto is up about 4%. The Solana mobile is good, but they're sold out because they are getting airdropped. They're getting airdropped coins left, right, and center. At one point, Kishan, you could buy a Solana mobile phone for $450 and get $800 worth of airdrops. I don't think the phone is that great tech. You buy it to hold and receive all of these airdrops. That's the way I have read it. Right, so this is just to give you an idea of what's gone on. We've seen the markets are up 4%, but look how much the meme coin market is up. It's up 20%. It's at 51 billion. Every single coin has ripped. It's like Superman. They've all ripped the shirts off and they've all come out and they're all Clark Kent. Now Superman. SHIB is up. Pepe is up. Bonk. Doge. In fact, are there any meme coins down in the last... Oh, we do have... Yeah, the micro caps are down. Wow, Nero. Coins that aren't listed anywhere are down. Now, my tip, and again, this isn't financial advice, and I do have this tip because I think Trump coin, or MAGA, or whatever you want to call it, I think that's going to rip. And the reason is that it's going to get free publicity for the next 9 months out of Donald Trump. So, if there's one coin in here, I don't like Doge, I love Shiba Inu, I don't like Pepe, I'm not a massive fan of Bonk, I like Dog with Hat. I mean, I'm not going to go down and tell you my preferences, but another coin that I think is going to do exceptionally well is, of course, when it's got $179 million market cap. This could break out. When could break out? That's one. But for me, and that's Coke Inu, before anybody says it the wrong way. Coke Inu. Coke as in Coca-Cola, not the bird. So for me, I think Trump is going to run up. It has a very low circulating supply, which is 2.88 million. So I think that could have a run, only because of the campaign that's going on. And again, it is not financial advice. I've got to make that very clear. Nothing we say on this channel is financial advice. That's one thing to please bear in mind. We don't give financial advice out. Myra is a very good coin. Shiba is my #1 meme coin. Shiba Inu is my #1 meme coin, and I'll tell you why. Look at the amount of development done by Doge over the last two or 3 years, and then look at the amount of development done by Shiba Inu. I would rather Shiba do 3 years of developing and making mistakes than 3 years of sitting there waiting for Elon Musk to tell me when to become proof of stake and when I'm going to be the tipping coin on X. So Shiba Inu, for me, is going to flip Doge at some point in the future if Doge isn't the tipping feature. That's the key. If Doge becomes the tipping feature of X tomorrow, it's going to have a market cap of 50 billion. It's going to go back to $1, and I'm going to hate it because it's a worthless piece of junk. Dogecoin is being mined into infinity. Doge is no better than the US dollar. Shiba at least has burn mechanisms. It has Shibaverse. It has a DAO. It's got its Bone. In fact, Bone, it was down here a minute ago. Bone Shiba Swap. So that's the token of the DAO. And everything about Shiba. And Bonk, in defense of Bonk, go and check out the website. It's got staking, it's got swaps, it's got a Telegram bot. Bonk is good now. When I reviewed it a year and a half ago, I slated it because it was rubbish. Okay. Are you now rich for holding most of SHIB? Because I consider your investment in Shiba as a whale investment. Gold Seeker, I hope you're talking to, not me. I don't hold SHIB. I don't hold many meme coins because they don't fit with my risk profile. That's just how I am. So it's 12:10. We are at the end of the show. Now, tomorrow, we are back at 11 o'clock. But before then, do I have that page, user41? Yes, I do. I can't say what the page is called because I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to say where I am. But we are called Crypto Warehouse. So if you go and type in Crypto Warehouse, you will find us. But I can't say more than that. We stream where you're watching Monday to Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning. At this time, every day, except for Sundays. And Brogan is back tonight. He is going to do a live trading show at 9 p.m. So 9 hours from now, there will be a live trading show with Brogan, who is the technical guru. I'm not. He's going to do the stream tonight. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We haven't done the quiz because we had too much to talk about. Remember, the quiz is now going to fit the time around. If we finish at 11:45, we'll do the quiz. But today we had an extra topic, which was the Atlas sales. We normally have 6 topics. Today we had 7, so we've overrun. So how can you help us? First of all, smash the like button, hit the follow button, make sure you follow us, make sure you like and subscribe. We do stream as much as we can. We do make as many videos as we can. So what we'd like you to do is follow us. If you want to tip us, that's fine. We accept tips gracefully. We turn them into Doge and we give them back out on the channel, so it becomes a self-finance channel. And apart from that, I'm going to say goodbye to you all because it's 12:10. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to Web3 and Kishan and all the people, Tariq, that are in chat. Sorry there wasn't a quiz today. There'll probably be a quiz tomorrow if we don't have as much to talk about. And remember, there is a good chance that we get to $74,000 this week. But I don't have a crystal ball. And much as I'd like to say we're going to get to 74,000, it's not guaranteed. So thank you, Flip. Thank you, Web3, Kishan, Tariq. I'll see you all in the morning. Take care. Have a great afternoon. Remember, don't sit there staring at the meme coin charts. That's not going to do you